expressing concern over motorists denying the right of way to ambulances and a shortage of these life-saving vehicles. And South Androsians can expect greater water pressure and more consistent water in the near future. We have that story coming up. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Royson Jones, and this is the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Welcome to the broadcast. The political temperature is certainly rising, and though the next general election is still some time away, Progressive Liberal Party leader, Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Philip Davis, is gearing up the party in what some are calling the unofficial start of the Progressive Liberal Party's campaign. The Prime Minister delivered a charged speech this weekend, rallying his base while taking aim at the opposition and its leadership. Devontae Hanna leads us off at 11 tonight with the details.
Well, the Progressive Liberal Party's headquarters felt like a campaign launch more than just a regular men's branch meeting. Standing before an energized crowd, Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis seemingly signaled the start of the governing party's aggressive bid for re-election.
Now is not the time to get comfortable. Now is the time to get battle ready.
Prime Minister, who was addressing the PLP's men's branch meeting on Sunday, also used the opportunity to take a jab at the opposition leader, Michael Pintard.
Michael Pintard wants to lead this country. But I have a simple question. A simple question. What real job has he ever had? If Pintard never had a real job, who's been paying his bills? Because if someone has always been paying his way, that means someone else has always been in charge.
Call them red stripes.
And if someone else is in charge of his life, how can we trust him to be in charge of this country?
And it didn't end there. Next came criticisms for the F&M's absence from last week's $827 million heads of agreement signing for the redevelopment of Grand Bahamas Grand Lucine Resort. And according to the Prime Minister, this despite being invited.
When the country makes progress, he goes silent or snares.
Are you serious?
When it's to support something good, he finds a way to stand in the way. Why? Because what's good for the Bahamas is bad for the F&M.
While the government has dismissed rumors of an early election, former Prime Minister Perry Christie made one thing clear: tough decisions hang in the balance for the party leader.
Decisions will have to be made on who will be candidates in the next general election. Some people will be in, some people will be out. But at the end of the process, our foundation must be as strong as it can possibly be.
Now, of course, for the PLP, locking down a second term means fighting from the front, with its performance in office speaking for itself. Prime Minister Davis is drawing clear lines between his leadership and the alternative. Back to you.
Thanks, Devontae. Well, opposition leader Michael Pintard made his own jab at the Prime Minister, charging that he is focused on the wrong things, including the Free National Movement, while ignoring the critical questions that need answers as the nation's leader.
Is the $120 million in the bank? Has the property been transferred to the developer? Is this deal connected in any way to the airport? Listen, I and we in the F&M support anything that helps Grand Bahamians get back on their feet. I hope this job that we're discussing finally gets done.
Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Deputy Prime Minister the Honourable Chester Cooper, also firing at Mr. Pintard for firstly not attending last Thursday's Heads of Agreement signing ceremony for the Grand Lucine Resort in Grand Bahama. While Mr. Pintard has since gone on record to state that the F&M welcomes the development and is hopeful that it will create an economic rebound for Grand Bahama, he maintains the opposition wants clarification from the government and the developer about the terms of the agreement, the timelines and overall impact of the project. Speaking with reporters in Exuma Monday afternoon, DPM Cooper called the F&M enemies of progress.
It is regrettable that some who wish to be leaders of our country don't appreciate the progress the way the people seem to be inspired by it. This is an exciting time for the island of Grand Bahama. No doubt the Prime Minister will provide further details in the House over the coming days and weeks. But the reality is, we're making progress. We're supportive of the progress we're seeing in Grand Bahama.
Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Michael Darville, is leading a Bahamian delegation at the 78th session of the World Health Assembly in Geneva, Switzerland, under the theme One World for Health. In his bilateral meetings ahead of this global conference with World Health Organization Director Tedros Ghebreyesus, the two health leaders discussed the need to accelerate national and global efforts to beat chronic diseases through investment in their root causes. The WHO Director General assured Dr. Darville of the organization's ongoing commitment to this important fight. Other issues of mutual interest discussed were WHO reforms, the importance of sustainable health financing, and the visit of WHO officials to the Bahamas in the aftermath of Hurricane Dorian. Back here at home, a lack of sufficient ambulances has posed an issue for some time now, and these emergency medical services technicians hope there will be a breakthrough soon. This as those technicians express concern about motorists denying the right of way of ambulances when every minute counts as people's lives are on the line. Daniel Dean explains.
Emergency service technicians or ambulance operators are growing wary of drivers that do not respect the siren. Deputy Director of National Emergency Medical Services with the PHA, Kevin Bell, is one of them.
It's an everyday issue. In some cases, person's ignorant and would not move. But in most cases, we're finding with the newer model vehicles, they're soundproof. And then if you add music in those vehicles, it becomes very difficult to hear the siren.
The concern's certainly not a new one, but one he hopes is resolved much sooner than later.
We are in the business of saving lives, and as was mentioned before, every second counts. So the time you take to hinder our passage, that's someone's life that we're being hindered from saving.
And as if that's not already enough, there's also the far more serious issue of a shortage of ambulances.
And so production lines have slowed down a lot. We also have a challenge now with some of the makers, the builders, whether it be Ford or some other builder, them not wanting to ship, to certain parts of the world, and that's creating a challenge. And then too, when we do find vehicles, we're competing with bigger companies, where we might need 10 or 15, they're going for 100. And so, automatically those persons would get before us.
Last year, EMS personnel disapproved of a new fleet of 10 ambulances, arguing that their size made them ineffective. The government has since promised new ambulances to ensure the medical needs of Bahamians are not neglected. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
A Marcos alert and bulletin issued today for 14-year-old Denisha Garcon Timothy of Wrights Lane. Police say the young teenager was last seen around 8 p.m. yesterday, May 18th, at her residence. According to authorities, she has a brown complexion and slim build. If you can assist police locate 14-year-old Denisha Garcon Timothy, please contact the Central Detective Unit at 502-9991 or 9992, Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS, or visit your nearest police station. 85-year-old Sherwin Brown has also been reported missing by police. The Buttercup Lane resident was last seen at his home on Thursday, May 8th. Authorities say he has a dark brown complexion and medium build. Once again, if you can assist police locate 85-year-old Sherwin Brown of Buttercup Lane, please contact the Central Detective Unit at 502-9991 or 2 Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS, or visit your nearest police station. Still to come, airport upgrades in the southern Bahamas. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse, the people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
you've got termites and need to get rid of them fast, trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Hey, Josie.
Hey, honey.
You got one last thing for me yet?
Can I tell you why I get no money? At least not yet. I get my money. Managers. Oh, I done upload it.
Hello, Miss Daisy. Your check is ready.
Thanks. I got it. I come for that little thing. You got it?
Money managers, responsible lenders for responsible people.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
That compendium of financial bills passed in the lower chamber last week, debated in the upper chamber today. The pieces of legislation that senators passed earlier this afternoon ensures the financial services sector remains competitive and continues to meet the highest international standards as a financial center. Leading off today's debate, Attorney General Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder, who noted that the sector contributes significantly to the middle and upper class in the country, employing largely professional Bahamian women.
If you look at compliance officers, for example, and this is just one position within these institutions, but this is a position where Bahamian employment and professionalism has excelled, in my opinion. A junior compliance officer makes in excess of $60,000. A compliance officer makes in excess of $80,000. And the head of compliance of these institutions makes more than $150,000.
The AG also pointed out that these bills will also create new opportunities for enhanced business as the government promotes the sector in key global markets like London and Brazil.
We are one of the most, if not the most attractive trust jurisdictions in the entire world. The entire world. And now that Brazil has recognized in law the concept of a trust, validating the treatment in Brazil, we are a natural fit for growth and business opportunities. We will go to Brazil. This year, we will go to Brazil to highlight this, but also to highlight our legislative changes to the ICON, our legislative changes allowing demerger, and our new legislative changes to the Segregated Account Company Act.
Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Chester Cooper touring ongoing works at the Mayaguana and Exuma airports earlier today. On Mayaguana, an entirely new airport is being built, with the first phase expected to be completed by mid-June and be ready for operation and increased airlift for that island. Inspecting the work, the Deputy Prime Minister said he was pleased with the progress and foreshadows even more big news for that island.
We are pleased with what we see. It's world-class quality, marble tiles, etc., as you've observed, and the people of Mayaguana are deserving of this facility.
It was off to Exuma next, where the work for that island's airport has at times been delayed, but DPM Cooper, who also represents that island, is of the view that those problems are now in the rear view, and he expects his work to be completed by next summer.
Work here had stopped due to funding reasons. We're now full steam ahead. I'm excited about this progress, and I'm looking forward to seeing it go vertical over the next several weeks and months.
Better water pressure and more consistent water and sewerage services in the pipeline for South Androsians now that the funding and the contractors have been locked in. Felicity Darville tells us more tonight.
The Water and Sewage Corporation signed a $1.04 million contract with Apex Pavers on Monday to construct a new transmission water main linking the corporation's reverse osmosis plant in Kemps Bay and the well field in the Bluff, South Andros. The project includes the installation of some 13,000 feet of 4-inch water mains. Apex President Willie Simmons.
At Apex Pavers, we take good pride, great pride, in being a Bahamian company committed to building with integrity, precision, and care. We understand the responsibility that comes with public infrastructure, especially when it comes to something like as vital as water. So we are not just there to put pipe in the ground. It is about improving the quality of life and strengthening the community system.
Water and Sewerage Manager Robert Deal says the corporation is on a mission.
The reality is that these works that are being executed across the Bahamas, whether it be in South Andros, additional works planned for North Andros, works that are ongoing, Bimini, Abaco, quite a bit of works in the Keys, across Eleuthera, Exuma, Aucklands, all across the Bahamas. These are really about dignity and basically about improving the quality of life for our Bahamian citizens across the Bahamas.
It's an important day for the Honorable Leon Lundy, Minister of State with responsibility for the Water and Sewerage Corporation, as these much-needed waterworks will improve the lives of his constituents.
And this will actually shore up the amount of water that we're receiving down in the southern end of South Andros. So definitely this will be impactful right away. I can tell you the residents, sometimes they have to have disruptions that occur between 10 and 5 o'clock in the morning. So definitely this will be a major impact right away that'll be felt right away for all the residents.
This water project is expected to be completed in about 160 days, after which roadworks will continue. Executives say that all of the technological and procedural changes that are happening here at the Water and Sewage Corporation are for the benefit of the clients all throughout the Bahamas, and in this case, especially in the Big Yard, and specifically those in Central and South Andros. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
It's being called a game changer for Grand Bahama, a long-awaited redevelopment of the Grand Lucayan Resort. The government signed a major heads of agreement with Concord Wilshire, promising jobs, infrastructure, and a rebound for the island. The Director of Investment sat down with our Devontae Hanna to get a closer look at what this deal really represents.
The $827 million redevelopment of the Grand Lucayan Resort is said to be a turning point for Grand Bahama, according to Director of Investments Felicia Woods-Hanna. And this, as she says, the real work on the property is set to begin within the next 30 to 60 days.
And so they're in the process of fine-tuning those plans. And once that happens, right away, we should see jobs for Bahamians.
Over 3,000 jobs, according to Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis. The end result of negotiations that Woods-Hanna tells us started with Concord Wilshire back on December 1st, 2023. And after a year and a half, the government came forward with a deal it believes is beneficial to both parties.
There are no concessions that were offered to the developer that is not available for Bahamian developers and foreign direct investors alike.
The developer has committed to building a cruise port, 3 hotel towers, a mega yacht marina, water park, and a George Norman-designed golf course. The completion date, though, is fluid.
They did provide a timeline for the 3 phases of the project and the demolition. However, of course, this is a process that goes through a number of government agencies, and so the technocrats have to now review it, and then those timelines may change.
The announcement follows opposition leader Michael Pintard calling for the full details of the heads of agreement to be revealed. While noting his concern, Woods-Hanna says that has never been the case with other agreements. She did make clear that the deal allows for Bahamian economic empowerment.
They would have unveiled plans for retail opportunities. That's why the straw vendors, the taxi cab drivers are all excited. So there are a number of different areas pursuant to the national investment policy that are reserved for Bahamians, will remain reserved for Bahamians.
The government has assured that safeguards are in place to protect national interests and to hold the developers accountable. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Devontae Hanna. Devontae Hanna.
Thanks, Devontae. Amajal knows how to look at what's coming up in sports tonight. Amajal?
Ring night for John Paul Jones and the New York Liberty. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Did you know you could send a local bank transfer to a Sand Dollar wallet? It's the same as sending a transfer to an account at another local bank. Simply use the wallet's 12-digit top-up address as the account number, savings as the account type, Central Bank of the Bahamas as the bank, and Sand Dollar as the branch with branch code or transit number 12,000. Don't use urgent or priority delivery. Transfers to Sand Dollar wallets are processed through the Bahamas Automated Clearinghouse Network within 1 business day.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Welcome to your Monday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. A great start to the WNBA season for Bahamian professional player Jonquel Jones and the defending champions in New York Liberty as the team hung its first championship banner in the rafters and presented players with their WNBA championship rings. This before a 92-78 victory over the Las Vegas Aces at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn over the weekend. Jones, of course, the 2024 WNBA Finals MVP, was special in the team's opener. She powered her way to 17 points, a team-high 10 rebounds, added 6 assists and 8 blocks in 30 minutes of play. On Hoops last week, we heard from her new teammate, Rema Collins, but Danica Lightbourne is just as eager to suit up in a new uniform with the Florida International University women's basketball team. This after transferring from Dayton. The Bahamian duo came out of the transfer portal and have decided to join forces with the Panthers and coach Jessica Burks-Wiley for the 2025-2026 season. Danica on YFIU.
I'd say they mainly showed me a great environment, showing how they have great family involvement and the expectation they have for me coming in and their plan on what their development plan for me. So that was mainly my biggest thing.
Lightbourne also speaking about the dynamic between her and her new Bahamian teammate.
Play alongside Rima, I feel like it's going to be fun. I mean, we didn't know each other a little bit beforehand, but to build chemistry now and just be together, build more of a friendship, that would be enjoyable.
Pickleball, one of the world's fastest growing sports, it's found its way here in the capital. On Monday, Bahamas Resorts hosting a press conference at the John McEnroe Tennis Center as the Bahamas Pickleball Federation representatives discussed the growth of the sport in the Bahamas and integrating pickleball into the school system.
The first tournament we went to was the World Cup in Peru, which was fabulous exposure for all of us because we really didn't know how other countries were playing. There were 32 countries. That was our first tournament. And then we went to Cayman, and surprisingly enough, in the over 50, we won the silver. So we were competing for the gold, but we got the silver. And given that we don't have coaches that teach us ongoing, which Bermuda and Cayman and many of the other Caribbean countries have, to place and medal in the pre-tournament and in the actual cup was an amazing accomplishment. We want to get it into the government schools, so this would be the initiative that starts that at the very beginning, so that teaching the PE teachers how to play pickleball so that they can bring the sport to the students. So we're going to start, we're in the middle of forming how that's all going to come together. We have to get the courts in, obviously, and that will be an ongoing conversation with the ministry on how exactly it'll be an all-day camp.
From the collegiate track circuit over the weekend and what has been a breakout season for her, University of Florida jumper Antea Charlton winning the women's long jump at the SEC Outdoor Championships. Her title stands as just one highlight in a season that includes the NCAA all-time #2 indoor long jump, the current NCAA #2 outdoor long jump for 2025, a fourth-place finish at the NCAA Indoor Championships, and now, of course, an SEC outdoor title. The individual championship is the first of her career at the conference or national level. And that's a look at your sports on this Monday. A check on weather when we return.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Planning the execution of a newscast is serious business. From the assignment to the concept of the story, everything has to be precise, on point, always. The Bahamas Tonight, the national report, is your trusted news service. We get it right the first time. Our preparation for you each night is done with care, knowing that our voices will reach you on 700 islands and keys with unquestionable accuracy. It gives me great pleasure each night to say,
welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. I'm your national anchor, Mukesh Lopinder.
How do ideas become plans? Plans become memories.
So you like my new
And dreams become your life.
This is retirement.
Do you remember when hope became a house? When that house became a home? Your ideas are everything, and we're here to help make them happen. Your idea of yes, I can happens here.
In the southern stretch of the Bahamas, where the ocean shifts from turquoise to deep sapphire, lies a place called Exuma. A place as rich in history as it is in natural beauty. More than just a paradise, it's a community woven together by salt, sun, and stories.
Here in the heart of Exuma, the sails were up and the spirit was high for the 69th edition of the National Family Island Regatta. Thousands journeyed here not just to witness the battle on the water, but to experience the culture.
Exuma offers more than just breathtaking views. During Regatta Week, we experienced the soul of the island, a celebration of heritage, resilience, and community.
Join us on Friday, May 23rd at 8:30 p.m. for breathtaking highlights from the National Family Island Regatta. It's where the wind takes us, only on the ZNS Network.
It's time now for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royce. As you can see on our live weather radar, dry conditions continue, but there is an approaching frontal boundary near central Florida that will drift towards the south, but we expect it to stall just to the north of us. So Grand Bahama, Northern Abaco, they will perhaps get some showers and some cloudy conditions over the next couple of days as a result of this stall-out system. Elsewhere throughout the country, that high pressure will remain intact with a slight shift towards the east over the next couple of days, keeping those winds nice and light. So flat conditions for the boaters, so there's some beautiful boating conditions shaping up over the next several days. Temperatures around the islands, we're picking up some homogeneous conditions in the extreme northwest. Well, we have Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Toll Key, and Marsh Abaco all at 80 degrees, 82 in the Berry Islands, Alistown, Bimini, 83 degrees, 79 in Fresh Creek, Central Andros, Kemp Space North Andros, and Black Point, Exuma at 80 degrees, 79 over there in Otterstown, Cat Island, Roxanne, Lucia, 78 degrees. And as we head into San Salvador and Rumkey, the mercury column, just around 79. 80 degrees in Georgetown, Exuma, 80s again in Ragged Island, Clarence Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, McGorn, and Acklands, they're reporting 78. 81 degrees down in Matsutai, Niagara, and Turks and Caicos Island, also at 81 degrees. Your forecast tonight, mainly clear conditions as a result of that persistent high-pressure system. Low temperature falling off to 74 degrees. And tomorrow, sunny to partly cloudy, but very nice. High temperature, 88 degrees tomorrow. And the extended weather forecast, the beautiful weather just simply continues for the next 7 days with temperatures getting up into the upper 80s. So it's going to be pretty scorchy as we head into the weekend. 91 degrees on Saturday, 92 on Sunday. And when you factor in the heat index, this is going to be around about 103 degrees over the weekend. So we're asking you to simply keep yourself hydrated by taking in lots of H2O. Royston?
That's excellent advice. I couldn't agree more. Thank you, Basil, and it's certainly heating up. Well, that's going to do it for the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Tony Williams, Darden Highway. I'm Tajaro Hudson. This is ZNS.
That was fun.
Yes, Jasmine, it's always fun. But...
What? The thing with the thingy?
I love the thingy. Especially when you do the thingy with the whatchamacallit. But I was thinking, we've been going out for a month now. Maybe it's time we took things to the next level.
Cool.